So before our drivetrain goes in the '69 Dodge Charger RTSC. Now keep in mind, this is a very rare car. This is a T5 copper, 440, 4-speed, '69 Charger RT, and it's a special edition. Not every car that comes through here is numbers matching. I just wanted to take a few minutes and show you what I mean, what the world means when they talk about numbers matching. The biggest and the most important thing is the vehicle identification number. That the engine has the vehicle identification number stamped into it that the factory did when it was installed in the car. Same thing with the transmission. When you look at it, you just think it's beautiful. But I want to show that not only are the pieces that are on it beautiful, but they're correct for the year, make, and model. So starting at the front of the engine with the clutch fan. Now this is a replica of the original clutch fan. We get it from Tony over at Tony's Mopar. It has the part number and the date code of when it was assembled. So in this case, H1I. That means it was August 1st, 1968. And our car was built in November of 1968. So that's the perfect date code. Our fan is also a replica. If you look carefully, you'll see that there's a Pentastar on there stamped into it. That's because these are licensed. Tony, again, he makes these, Tony's Mopar. That Pentastar represents that it's a licensed product. After that, we have the part number. So we could put any fan belt on here, but these are actual replicas of the original V belt with the part number in it. On the lower radiator hose, you'll see that it has the part number stamped into it. That is a replica hose. It's not a 50-year-old hose. The texture on the hose is exact to the originals. And you'll see that we're using the Corbin clamp, as the original ones did, to hold it in place. The spark plug wires, we get those from Classic Industries. They are date-coded, correct replicas. They have the right boot on them, the right part number on them, the right date code, and the right color of yellow ink stamped onto them. Even though the engines get painted and a lot of detail gets lost at that time, we still, in the beginning, do it right. Take a look at the Highland cylinder head bolts. These are the factory correct original bolts. If you don't have the H in there, they're not original to the car. Our exhaust manifolds are factory. The part number is cast into them. The Pentastar is cast into them. The date code is cast into them. These exhaust manifolds are original to the car. The upper radiator hose, just like the lower one, has the part number on it, as well as the Corbin clamp. Now the fuel lines, this gets a 3/8 delivery line. These are replicas of the original fuel line with the KV marking stamped on them. And they have the original Autoker clamps. The line that goes from the fuel pump to the separator is 5/16 of an inch, but it also has the KV markings and the Autoker clamps. Heater hoses also have the exact same number of ribs in them that the factory did, as well as the part number and the vendor code. Right-hand exhaust manifold, just like the left-hand did, is factory. It has the original casting date, Pentastar, and date code. Again, very important detail here, the original spark plug wire separator brackets. The biggest part of this whole thing is the vehicle identification number. It's located on the right-hand side of the block down near the rail of the pan. In this case, that number matches the dash vehicle identification number, the hidden VIN on the core support, trunk lip, and the data plate. Same thing on the transmission. It matches the trunk lip hidden numbers, core support numbers, dash VIN, and data plate. The carburetor is the original numbers correct carburetor and date code for this car, as well as the bolts that hold it in place. Again, these are the Highland bolts. So in total, when you look at everything as a unit, it is exactly the way it appeared on the assembly line on the day the car was built. All right, let's put this bad mother in there. Let's line this thing up. You put that carburetor stud right in the middle of the tunnel. Hang on there.
That eagle eye?
I think it needs just a touch that away, like that. Okay, there we go. It's looking close. All right, I'll let you two guys with good eyes do that. We ready to lower this bad boy down?
Yeah, do you want to lower it? I can't do it.
There's a GoPro
I can do it.
It's running, so I like to make love to it. When they say make love to the camera, you caress the camera with your eyes. You make it one with you. So.
Looks really good with that grease spot in your hair.
You're talking about hair?
Well, no, the grease.
Get over there. You know, I don't know what Royal's talking about when it comes to hair. There's a picture of him at 1 year old, when usually your hair is really starting to come in at 1 year old, bald. He is leaving this earth the same way he came into it, bald as an eagle. Got no room to talk about my hair. I'm honest. You guys just bring out the worst in me. I still have some. I can comb it. It's a little wispy when it gets long, but it's there.
Okay.
Here we go.
Do I need to go side to side?
Nah, I think you're...
Watch the passenger side.
Oh, that doesn't look good there. It's gonna come right down on top of that.
The dip tube was hanging out underneath the frame rail. On certain years, the dip tube actually goes inside the exhaust manifold and it's clear. But on the earlier years, it actually hangs out sideways, and when you lower the car down, you bend the dipstick. Mark always accuses me of being the great dipstick destroyer.
Hard to soar with eagles when you're flying with turkeys. That was the old saying.
So anyway, I guess this is something Mark should have known, and he could have, you know, alerted me to that, but he likes to blame me for everything, so.
How we looking, gentlemen?
Snug.
Good. Oh, man. Watch that.
Okay. Any room to go to the passenger side at all?
Yeah. Oh, nope, too much.
Hold it.
Stop.
I will go carefully.
Carefully.
Here we go.
Fully careful.
How's the dip tube looking?
Stop.
Okay. I see there's a fuel line getting close here, so slide that over there. Okay.
Okay.
You can actually come down a little bit, Mark. Good. I never had it so easy.
Nice, isn't it?
It's so nice. Mark's perfected this system. Everything just slides right in, barely.
Okay, I'm started.
Okay.
Go ahead and raise it up.
Raise the car up a hair.
Just like an inch or two. It's got to go this way like an inch.
We're so sophisticated now with our equipment and our process. It really isn't very challenging. You're always going to have alignment problems. You're going to have things that looks perfect when you're looking at it from 5 feet away, but as it comes down, you got to shift the transmission to the left or to the right to get the right alignment.
Let me see if I can pull.
Okay. Some of them go easier than others.
Ow. Nothing goes perfectly smoothly.
As typical, it fought us pretty good here, you know. We had to kind of pry things around a little bit.
But even no matter how many of you do, if the geometry at the front of the engine is out of alignment by like 1/8 of an inch,
Nope. Okay, let
it
her
could be
down.
an inch, maybe inch and
Down
a
a
half
little.
at the back. That all just goes with the territory. But you're not laying upside down in a carport like Royal and I did when we were kids trying to stuff a transmission in something where the car's jacked up on pool balls. You know, this is really good quality equipment. Usually do this myself. Goes
Yeah.
quicker. What, Royal? What'd you say? I just telling everybody what a superb job you're doing. What?
I need to tighten the key member though.
Yeah, go ahead and run those down, and I'll raise it up, and then Royal likes working down on the ground like that. It's that much closer to laying down and taking a nap, isn't it, buddy?
Not here.
You wouldn't take a nap under there? No. This is the third lie Royal's told, so he's out. Okay, if this is boxing, he's done. I've been with Royal my whole life. I know he'd take a nap under there. We went to Vegas the first year to SEMA. Takes me 2 hours and 2 bottles of NyQuil to fall asleep. Royal walks in the room and falls completely asleep before he even gets to bed, and then just sleepwalks the rest of the way into bed. When we were kids growing up, he would fall asleep all the time. I thought he had narcolepsy. So if we were out there playing pool in the carport, because I had a pool table, and he would sit down in one of the lawn chairs, literally from the time that I said 8-ball corner pocket and I looked over, he was out. I've never been able to sleep like that. You can't tell me you can't take a nap under there.
I didn't say I couldn't. I just said I wouldn't.
Okay.
So have you ever seen Royal sleeping somewhere strange to corroborate Mark's accusations against you?
Other than the back seat of his mother's '64 Chrysler down by the river. Can I use that?
You ready, Dougie?
Yes, sir.
Going up.
I'm ready.
Did you undo the belt?
What belt?
The strap?
This belt?
God, you're my friend.
Compared to when we were kids, this is just the same. We had a good time then, and we're having a good time now. Okay, now I'm ready.
So Dougie gets nervous when the cameras are on. He'll repeat himself 2 or 3 times in the same sentence or with back-to-back sentences.
Yeah, we had a good time then, and we're having a good time now. Mark's accusing me of being a little camera shy. Well, I guess that is kind of true, you know. I guess because they're always looking at me.
Okay, so we have the engine and transmission bolted into place. Now we're going to put the front suspension up into the upper control arms, put the torsion bars in it, then we can put the front wheels on it and let it down on the ground. It'll be a roller. Once it's a roller, it can go over and have the vinyl top and the headliner put in over its stands. So that's what we do.
The drivetrain install on the 69 Charger went pretty well.
Went together pretty good, and it makes some adjustments, but no real big problems.
It's way easier putting the drivetrains in this way.
Working with Royal was great. It's so good to have Royal back again, you know, and we can kind of reminisce and, you know, work together. It's really fun.
But for me, the best part of doing an operation like this is just being able to work with my friends that I grew up with.
Getting to work together at this age and still working on cars, still playing with cars, you know, just like we were kids.
So it's like us three guys hanging out in my carport with much better equipment.
We're looking forward to finishing this up, rolling it out, and working together some more.
Hello ghouls, Mark Warman here, the Ice Tray from Graveyard Carz. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. We have fantastic stuff coming up, and some of it you've never seen before. I gotta go insult people. Hey Al!